Living in Boulder Vlog, Monday, June 21st, 2021, 12:05 p.m. Just got reefed up. I was like, yesterday, I started doing a new thing anyway, and I was like, oh, I got to get reefed up. So I went over to the store and got the bank, and got 40 cash monies. Went into the place and got 24 something and some odd cents worth of reefer at 20% off, and then 26% hybrid, and then came back here and I started doing my new thing. So okay, so I officially relapse, baby. Now I was 100% sure that I wasn't gonna relapse, but because this time it was like a health issue. But I only got weed because it's the relapse. I got the weed to smoke for the relapse. It's relapse weed, and and it's like it's roommate moving out weed. My roommate bought a house in Longmont and did 5 loads yesterday on his station wagon, and just left for his first load today, and he does a few more loads, and then on the load where he needs to bring his bed and his dining room table, like I'll go with him on that one, see his house for the first time, and then but my mom is going to call my brother. I think maybe my brother will do it with his pickup, because my roommate has a BMW with a rack, and his bed's really wide. He has this full width futon that I built a bed for it. I don't even know if I can get it out of the room. I've lived here with him since 2013. He moved into here with me. I was living with my mom, and then she kicked me out. And so I moved in with my roommate because he had an A-frame with an extra room. And so I lived with him, and then he moved in here because he got evicted. So then I evicted the person who was living here and just moved in here. And I didn't evict. Their lease happened to be up like the same month that my roommate's lease wasn't renewed. It was like magical. So I yesterday I started the reason I'm doing a relapse is because yesterday morning is when I wanted to get my studio going. But the cool thing about the main thing about studios is you can punch in videos and photos. And so I wanted to make all my videos and photos easily accessible, but in order to do that, I had to organize them, and I hadn't organized them yet. I was way behind with organization, and I knew that. So yesterday, for the first time in a long-ass time, more than a year or years, I don't know, I remember a few months ago, because I was collecting a bunch, and then they were I just threw them in. And so anyway, I was looking through photos, and a lot of photos went missing. I was aligning them for my external hard drive and my main computer, and a lot of the photos from my main computer went missing. they started doing cloud. Now, I don't know if it was because they said I ran out of space on the cloud, because I did run out of space for a while, and then I bought the 2 terabytes. So now I have 2 terabytes, which is enough. I don't think it's for my phone, but just for my computer. But like a lot of times I've noticed it with KMZ files, which is super sketchy, the Google Earth files. And yesterday I noticed it with a whole bunch of images, like all these little bike images and other ones. Like I'd click in the folder, there'd be no images, and I was like, but wait, what? Why are there so many folders and no images? I remember there were images here, so then I went and looked at my external, and they were on the external. So when you have folders on that, all of a sudden, like this, my documents folder on my Apple, and then, I mean, it's cool that you have cloud. I love it, but because it lifts it up. But the problem is it deletes them. It deletes them. It evaporates them off the computer. I don't know what the hell. So that's like ridiculous. Like, oh my God, stupidest thing you could ever do. That's an accident waiting to happen. Luckily, because then I have my server and my external, but that's the only place. I have other externals, but I don't think I have the updated of all the new Google Earth stuff I did. So yeah, I'm glad I had a relapse, so I can at least back my stuff up, make it sure it's backed up to. And I didn't renew my Carbonite. That was $80 a year. I don't have the money. I need to do that. But yeah, as soon as I can, I'm gonna make sure all my stuff is, especially the KMZ stuff, and then the images, and all my different externals. So so I was looking at images, and so let me explain what I want to do. And I've already done a lot of it. So everything that I made on Google Earth, I need to do video captures and screen captures, because when I do demos, like YouTube videos demonstrating my stuff I built on Google Earth, I don't want to show it on Google Earth, live with Google Earth. That's amateur hour. And I have high-tech equipment, so it's better for me to just plug in, pre-plug in all of the screen captures and video captures of everything I made on Google Earth on my website. So, so that means, like, I have Rome, and and I might get fired up and just go ahead and just finish the building of it, because the original idea is to build Rome on Google Earth, but the entirety of Rome, all historical ages, the entire growth of it. And I already did Romulan Rome. I did Severan Rome of 211, like the height. I have maps of all ages and descriptions, and I even was doing like all of the hills done and all the different walls and everything, and so it's not that much farther to do more. And so in terms of screen capture, I'll just get screen capture of everything I built, and then we'll see if I'm going to continue with it. If I can continue, I don't like to exercise, and I'm working on my computer all the time. If I can continue with it, I can just make sure to not smoke weed, like actually quit weed. Like that'll be something that I haven't done in a long ass time, but I'll have to do it, otherwise I'm in trouble. So, but I think I can get in. If I go on little bike rides with my mom all the time, and I don't smoke any weed, I think I can get away with not exercising and just working all the time on my website, because I need like another year at least. So, so in terms of like screen capture and video capture, for example, on Romulan Rome, I would do various vantage points, like diagonal down, maybe straight down, looking down a road, looking straight at a house, the nicest house, the whole city diagonal, whole city looking straight down, whole city looking down on it with the entirety of Rome as the backdrop. or the entirety over the other 7 hills, maybe with the sea as a backdrop, with the mountains as a backdrop, from 30,000 feet up, 10,000 feet up, and then with video captures flyovers of at a drone height, helicopter height, biplane height, Learjet height, 30,000 feet, satellite height, panoramas from the like central little mini coliseum I built there, panoramas from some front yard, the front gate, walking tour from the front gate around the whole area and out, circumference of the wall, just anything I can think of. Anything I can think of. Right, and so say that's Romulan Rome, which is only the size of the Palatine Hill. It's like 2.5 acres. It's like a circumference of like a kilometer or less. Yeah, like a kilometer, or maybe it was 2.5 kilometers. I can't remember, but the stuff like that, and so you would store it in video file and photo file, and then you would do the same thing with epochs of Rome, so including the year 211 when it's a giant city. That's a lot. I even have a walking tour, 2-hour walking tour that goes in conjunction with a YouTube video of the city, and then like an hour long one or something of the inside of the Colosseum, and I already did the zoom in, zoom out tours of all the historical towns, and I think tribes. All I have to do is chop off the end of the video. I think I'm going to get a simple video editor for that. That's a lot of work. So I was, and I'll do the same thing with Atlantis, the Exceed 4000 building, all the different sports stuff that I made, like the sample bike racer level speeds of racers on Atlantis and Rome. And I do have to finish building a few things on each of these as well. Because if I'm going to do adequate videos, like I can't finish doing the adequate panoramas. Like if I'm in film a panorama of looking out of the Colosseum, looking north, I haven't completely finished building everything. There's a couple of more things, and so I wouldn't be able to build the screen capture until I finished building the thing. And I think I remember thinking it was like 3 weeks on Rome, the city. So yeah, I could easily get fired up on that. I feel like the gods are telling me, my little higher self, the voices, the feeling of excitement is telling me, oh, dude, you need to work on the freaking website because you're really not that far away from finishing it. Like 1 more year and you can finish it. So, So yesterday I was organizing the ones that I already did, because I already did a bunch of video and screen captures on Atlanta, so I was organizing them in their categories, and then so then I went in to organize other photos and videos and make sure that they were like backed up on both. I had to drag a bunch back on my main computer and onto the external, and then I got to this really big file in my photos folder called History. And it was broken up into a lot of different folders. Here, I'll scroll out. Let's see how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 across with 3 down minus 2. So 14 times 4, whatever that is, like 50 or whatever folders already. And then there's like there's like a bunch of other photos, like hundreds, like 500 or something, and most of them weren't named, and a bunch of they were like saved without names, just names that didn't were just younger numbers, and then a bunch of screen captures. So these are photos that I was using to look at to make the models of Rome. So I kept the photos, and so I wanted to organize them into their spot, and so I'm naming them. I'm looking through them and naming them, and then dragging them into their, and then I'm gonna drag them into their proper folder because that's what I'm up to now. And yesterday, actually, what I spent most of the day on was this other thing that took forever. See, because I'm not done with anything. That's the problem. I have a gazillion projects that are open, and I'm not done with any of them, and they're all huge, and they all have a lot of work to be done. But but I've done like 90% on all of them. So I was going through looking at my images yesterday, and I looked at the Boulder images, and I saw, because I remember, and this was like, I guess there'll be a date on the image. I didn't look at it, but I remember like a year ago or something. I don't even remember when that was, but I went on another detour on the images for Boulder, and maybe I can't remember even how I found it. Like I was trying to identify an image or whatever I was looking in, and I stumbled across a couple of other websites that had images in Boulder, and I saw some that I knew I hadn't seen in the other ones. And so I was like, fuck it, let's just download all of them, because it looks like a bunch of these are ones that I didn't see, even though I thought I had all of them. So I downloaded a bunch. One of them from a postcard company, and another one, a bunch of postcards you can buy from photos from the 60s and 70s, and then another one called Art something, some website, and it had 675. Like I transferred a bunch, I drug a bunch in, and then I decided to look and see how many there were, and it said 668, so it's at least like 675, maybe 700. Yeah, so I had to drag those into the folder in Boulder, whether it was like one of the mountain towns, or I had to create a bunch of folders for mountain towns or mountains or carriages, stages, trains within the city of Boulder, and I think I was trying to attach dates to a couple, and so that was like took all day long, but I finished it, so I was happy about that because that was hundreds and hundreds. So and so then when I go back, I have to attach guess dates to all of them, because that's how I organize my photos on Boulder. I do it by decade, so I at least have to guess it by decade. And then I have to guess where it was, because a lot of my footage of Boulder, I'm going to have to get where, like an oil field or something, so I have to go and guess where it was and try to give a good guess, which takes a while and a lot of stress. And then same thing with the buildings. You see it's the type of building, find out where that type of building was and put that in, because I want to litter, when I Google Earth on top of Boulder, I want to litter it with just folders everywhere. So you feel like you can actually go back there, go and live there, like you're going back in time. So, and there were a bunch that I had put there already from like one of those sites, or maybe another one, because the ones that I had already done, that I already put on Google Earth, and I think I numbered them, so I might have to renumber them. Yeah, maybe that'll take a while on Google Earth, I don't know, but at least they're not colored. I have to, because the ones that I know, the ones I already did are the folders, because that's where I put the different files for the folders of Google Earth. Like one file is the icon, the other is the line, which shows which direction the photo's being taken. and then the other one is the actual movie of the panorama. So so when it's just an image, I know that I haven't built it on Google Earth yet. It's just the image. Oh, and then of course the panorama and the icon and everything, those are connected to Flickr because it's all on Flickr. So I have to upload all these images to Flickr and then put them in the proper folder and name them and then link them to the Google Earth. So there were a bunch that were already in there, and then I drug them in again. So when I go back to that project, I'm going to have to do all of that for like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and stuff. And then there's a bunch of images that are already there that I'm doubling. So I have to look at them and scroll through and make sure that I'm not, doing the same one twice. And so I have to kind of like memorize every single one of the Boulder photos that I have. And that you're talking about a lot. I can't remember exactly how many. That's a good question. Damn, I should go look. But so yeah. I just didn't get all my images of Boulder from one resource. I got it from the Boulder library, but they didn't have all of them. And yeah, they're not even organized that well. Like it's not the library. This other site that sometimes they have them organized. Like people use organized stuff like Apple, where you can have them. You can just click on the thing and like have them in groups. And I'll have it like that, but they have it where it's stored once and then the playlist access is the same one, and I have it different where it's actually different, duplicated. But so anyways, I got through that yesterday and I was happy, and then I started going on this one and doing a lot. So I worked hard, like I'm working throughout the day. Like all I do is work, like most people, they balance stuff out. And so when I work all the time, I can actually get this stuff done. Because I was training, before for like a month or whatever, I wasn't working on my website, so my downtime I was spending watching movies, so I kind of got in the habit of that. So last night I was like, because my brain was kind of overheating yesterday. So I was like, because maybe I'm dealing with stress from hearing my roommate moving stuff out all day or whatever. But it was also the first day that I started working on this, and I was overwhelmed. Like this happens every time, and this is why I've relapsed, because I realized the only way I'm ever going to get anything done is if I go 100% on it. Because I noticed how much more work and how bloated everything got again. How like I go in and I look, and first of all, nothing's aligned. Everything got evaporated from a lot of stuff got evaporated from my actual main computer. I go in and notice that I never actually even did organized or did that many captures on Atlantis. And then I go and look at the Boulder photos, and it's like, holy shit, what the fuck? 700 more photos on that one, and then another. I think the postcard one was like 200. And my glasses, I don't want to step on them. And then I'm going to process that, which is crazy. And then I go in and I look at the history photos, and it's got like 1,000 or something that aren't named, aren't identified, and haven't been processed. I'm like, whoa. Okay, breaks. And now I'm fucked because nobody was buying my car, and I need money now. My mom, I think, is trying to negotiate for $12,000 for somebody. Somebody offered 10. It's because it doesn't have a good paint job. If I had the money, it would be totally worth it to invest in a really nice paint job and get the dents knocked out, because you could sell it for a lot more. But because the interior is so good, the engine's so good, everything, all the parts, whatever. I don't have proof of all the work, but I need a roommate really quick. Like I definitely won't keep up with my payments, which will make me default, and I can't let that happen if I don't get a roommate. Within a month. I don't have to pay. I guess I get a $400 discount because I have to pay my roommates a rent this month. My brother's rent this month. But I'll have to pay. all of the utilities because my roommate usually gives me $100 and I'm 100 out on that. But I usually use that for weed. So if I quit weed, it's kind of like I don't really get bit that bad. So yeah. So and then if I get a roommate, you know, I don't know. Hopefully I can get a roommate because now I'm work from home. You know, I'm a homebody, so maybe I could advertise it as like a house or an apartment. I rent a room for somebody who wants to work at home. I think I even saw an ad because I'm a member of the Facebook group, Boulder Creative Housing, of somebody who wanted to look for a place to work from home, and I think I saw a few ads. So you know, if we're both working from home, then it's like, you know, it can be symbiotic. She's just like your office, you know, building neighbors. I have gigabit internet too, and plus the location of my apartment is really good. I mean, so yeah, hopefully it works out. And then if I have to get a job, I mean, everybody's hiring for job now, and so it's kind of like the ball's in the court of the worker, and also, but I don't think I'm in any position to ask for financial help for my website. I haven't explained myself at all. I haven't got to that point, and I can't right now. I need to organize images. I'm not in the mood to write, so I'm just like too high or something. My mom, I'm too overwhelmed with trying to do my work here. My mom, I'm so lucky I have my mom sell my car for me, and then Kirsten is going to write my ad for my renting the room and the contract and everything. So, so yeah, today's the day where I announced that I officially relapsed. I'm back on the website, 100%. Even though I'm not working on the website, I'm working on videos, but it's such a big project. I mean, this is the month. This is going to take a month at least or more to open, and it's kind of like working on my website because I'm working on Google Earth, and that was what I called working on my website. And even if I'm not building something on Google Earth, I'm using Google Earth in order to do the screen captures. So yeah, I relapsed. I'm back on my fucking website. So I am gonna get going on the long game here. And I have enough weed for like a couple of days, so it'll be cool. It'll be trippy to be here at the house. A couple days high, and I want to be high when I'm cleaning it. I looked at my roommate's room for the first time, and I was thinking about I was gonna have to take the rug up and put wood floor down, but now I'm looking at it, and the rug looks good because he put a big old rug on the top of it, and his big bed was covering the other part. So, and the rug was perfect when he moved in. So I think maybe we just get some professional cleaners in there, and we can clean it up good enough for it to be rentable again, not have to replace it. So, yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll probably start to listen to, because I'm doing back in the rhythm again. I was listening to stuff when I was working on my website, so I'll probably start listening to things again. Listen to books I got on Audible. I have a bunch of books I have to catch up on. And other things, but I've been listening to music lately. I don't know, maybe I should even, no, actually, I'm not going to cancel my Apple Music because now the Apple, or maybe I should. It's $30 for Apple News and Apple Music, and I was going to do that when I got my whole like studio going and everything, and training all the time, but now I don't need that stuff. It's $30 a month. You know what? I think I'm gonna cancel that now that I've relapsed. I just remembered. And I already canceled my gym. I got that before because that was gonna be my exercise when I was working on the computer. But now I don't even need that exercise. I can work on the stuff here. I organize my room so nicely with it. And I was going to do it with my mom, but my mom hasn't been doing it with me. And when we exercise, we go on bike rides. So yeah, I'm glad I canceled that. But now I'm going to cancel the Apple Music. I just decided. Um, and yeah, just as soon as I get around to it. But I've been having fun downloading everything onto it and listening to stuff with it. And I was going to get going on Apple News too. That was going to be cool for audio. But anyway, yeah, so tomorrow, hopefully I'll be done with all of this processing stuff in the history folder and then in the other little history folders and have that all squared away. And then I'll back it up to my external, make sure that's all aligned, and as well as everything, and then maybe with the other external hard drives as well. And then proceed to do the screen captures, and I don't know where I'll start with that. No, I think what I'll start with is chopping the ends of the videos off of the ones that I already did. And then do screen captures of the ones I haven't done yet, like Atlantis, Exceed 4000, and Rome. And I think I've done a lot of Rome already, but yeah, so just tie it together. And that's going to be at least a month. I usually have the habit of being able to work on a project for about a month, 3 weeks to a month. So yeah, we'll see. So this is day 1 of organizing folder files. Organizing folders and videos, photos and videos, but getting screen captures of photos and videos as well, the Google Earth stuff. So I predict I'll be able to do it for a month. So I'm starting on June 21st. So it'll be until July 21st. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to do the triathlon. I already signed up for the Ironman triathlon, but I'm not going to be, if I'm working on my website all the way up to the edge of it, I'm not going to be able to sleep at night, and I'm not going to, so if I do it, it's going to be after a night of just laying in bed all night. And then I'm not going to be fit enough to complete the run. Or if I do, well, actually, maybe I will, but not running it. I'll have to walk it. I probably won't make the time limit. And I'm going to freeze my ass off in the lake. When I'm not in shape, I get super cold. I might get the shivers and get sick from that. So, in fact, I don't think I'm going to do it. Like, maybe if it was last year, a couple years ago, I was still in the mindset of, like, go. But now I'm, like, the desperation of trying to finish my website is at a fever pitch. And so I don't even give a shit about anything anymore. Besides, I spent all my money. And if I were to continue trying to train, I'd spend more money on that. Like I'm due for, I only have a couple more packets of goo left, and those are like $250 if I wanted to buy like 10 goo. So and then I'll have to get new tires, and so that's much, you know what I mean. So and a new chain, and then have a bike service. So it's just gonna save me a lot of money if I just, plus the food, my appetite's gonna grow. You get the munchies or whatever, and so. You need more juice. So I'm going to just, I can spend a lot less, eat a lot less. If I just lock myself in my room and work all the time, and it actually would be a good way to get a roommate because I'm like locked in my room. I'll see if I can interview my roommate and see if he's not afraid to be interviewed. Everybody I know is afraid to be interviewed, so he probably won't want to, but see if I can interview him, tell him, see for YouTube video, for when I try to advertise my room, for him to describe exactly what kind of roommate I am. And so he'll just be like, yeah, he's just in his room all the time. You feel like you have the whole apartment to yourself, So hopefully it'll get somebody to move in here, save my ass. That is my vlog for today. Tomorrow, yeah, hopefully I'll be done with the historical folder, and I will have started actually doing, I will have Google Earth open, which I haven't even had it open looking at it forever. Months or something, like a year, and actually be doing screen captures and video captures, or I might still be in the process of trying to back stuff up because that can take a while. Alrighty, talk to you tomorrow.